Yo, what up, world? 502 King Paul coming out with another video, man. Hey, so this video, I'm gonna keep it super real with y'all. You know, no filter, uncut, super real with y'all, man. Just, I look back over my time when I was smoking weed really heavy, man, in my life, and some of the things I would do, some of the obstacles I would have to go through just to get high. Just to get high, man. I'm gonna keep it super real, give y'all a couple, you know, just things from my life personally. Because a lot of times people, you know, they look at weed like, you know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not addictive. It's not this and that. But, man, there are some people that will go to extremes to get high. And I was definitely one of those people. Now, we're going to start off light here. One of the things that I would do just to get high, I know a lot of dudes like this, man. You'll hang around. If you don't have no weed, say you ran out of weed, right? You don't have no weed. You'll hang around the people you know who do have weed, some of the people you might not even necessarily like, just so you can get high. Just sitting there waiting on the next person to roll up, man. And in that time, and now looking back at it, a lot of my feelings I would have during those moments, like, man, I'm a junkie, dude. Like, I'm sitting here hanging around somebody, just waiting on them to roll up. You sitting around, you know, like you really want to be around this person, like you really want to deal with this person that normally you don't even have a whole lot in common with besides the fact that y'all smoke, and you sitting around waiting on that person to roll up just so you can get high, man. I used to feel horrible during those times, but I would do it because I didn't have my own weed. Maybe finances was low, maybe I couldn't find somebody at the time, whatever, and you just go and you just hanging around people trying to get high, man. Another thing I did to get high that I was very ashamed of, man, I would go and sell things. Like, I would sell stuff. I would take my old clothes and take them and sell them. I'd sell my old shoes. You know, just anything I could think of, man. If it was something around the house I wouldn't use it, I'd pawn it. Like, this is stuff that a lot of people, when they think about somebody pawning something, you think about crackheads, you think about heroin addicts, you think about something like that. No, I was doing that, you know, when times was rough. Not all the time, but when times was rough, I was doing that just so I can go get a bag of weed, man, just so I can get high. And, you know, that was one thing, man. I'm going to be honest, dude. Like, it's embarrassing talking about it, but I want to keep it real because a lot of people act like, it's not a big deal. But I'm letting you know, man, like, this is real stuff that you can find yourself doing once you get knee deep into that addiction, man. Number 3, something that I would do that I'm certainly not proud of, it was robbing folks, man. Robbing. I would find myself just doing things that I never had did before. Even when I was in the streets, before I stopped smoking weed, before I started smoking weed, excuse me, I never did nothing like that. Like, that wasn't my thing. My thing was hustling, looking fly, this and that. But I found, like, the longer I went on smoking weed, the more my money was running low, the lower my hustle was getting. I didn't want to do the things I normally did to bring in money, and I was counterproductive to sustaining, to keeping in my money. Because the main thing about money, man, it's easier to get money than it is to keep it. Much easier for you to get it than it is to keep it. You can work and, you know, do a little job, whatever, get you some money, but you can blow it that quick. I can't name how many times I've had thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars, and blew that money like that. I'm talking about sometimes it would be within a couple weeks. Sometimes it would be within a month, a couple, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. But I would blow that money. And when I really got down bad, we started with some people, I don't know what y'all call it there, but hitting licks, robbing. Just robbing, going after people. And I remember one time in particular, man, and I'm going to leave out a lot of the information. I don't want to, you know, put too much out there, but just give y'all the gist of this story. It was this dude that we knew who was selling weed, right? And we knew he just wasn't cut like that. He was not cut like that whatsoever, but he's out here selling weed. And we call him up, meet him, you know, and we robbed this guy, man. Robbed him. Took his weed, you know, and he didn't really get hurt or nothing like that. He didn't get hurt, but we robbed him, took his weed, and then he goes running off and calls the police, calls the police, and tells them, and I'm laughing not because of the robbery situation. Now, that's not funny whatsoever, but the fact that you would think that you can get robbed for something you ain't supposed to have anyway and go and call the police, man. This man went and called the police. Went and called the police, and the police came, and man, he ended up getting in trouble because he's selling weed and had no business selling weed. But just some of the things, man, that's just one of the things. You know, I can think of other situations to where, you know, people got took, man. People got took. And this is nothing that I'm proud of. I'm not saying this so, you know, you can think I'm bragging. All of this stuff is extremely embarrassing to me because it shows me, you know, how low I was at that point in my life to where I would stoop down to these levels to do these different things. And just so I could get some money to get weed, or just so I could get some weed. The things that I would do, man. The things that I would do. One thing that some people don't even think about, and I'm sure much more people do this than any other things that I've named in this video so far. One thing that a lot of people do is they will completely mess up their priorities, man. Completely mess up the whole priorities of what they should be doing in life. For example, they can have some money, right, to eat, money for rent, and really not have no money for weed. So what they'll do is they'll cut back on, okay, I'm not going to pay this bill. I'm going to pay this bill late so I can have some money to buy weed. I've done that before. I'm going to cut back on my food budget so I can have me some money to buy weed. I can figure out the food. I can go over somebody's house or whatever and get the food, but I can't go over just anybody's house and just be getting weed if I don't have the money for it. So I'm going to cut back on my food budget so that way I can buy more weed. This is another reason why I believe, aside from a whole bunch of other factors, that I believe why I was losing so much weight during the time of me smoking weed, because I was emphasizing smoking weed over eating the correct way. And a lot of people, man, and let me speak on this just while we're talking about physical health, man. A lot of people believe that, well, I'm eating a couple meals a day, so I'm fine. You know, I'm going and getting my McDonald's. Even though I smoke, I'm going and getting my McDonald's breakfast sandwich. I'm going to go get me some Wendy's later. I'm going to go get this and that. But you're eating unhealthy. And one thing that I learned is extremely important, whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, whatever it is, when you're trying to change your body, it's your calorie intake, man. You got to have a good calorie intake. So if you're trying to gain weight, you got to up your calories. That means what? Eating more food. If you're trying to lose weight, you got to lower your calories. Not so much to where you're being malnourished, but you got to lower your calories down so that way your body can, you know, it can adjust to that and you can start to lose weight. Now, you got to work out and all this stuff too, you know, live a healthy lifestyle, but your calories got a lot to do with it, man. So cutting back on food, you know, that really, I think, was very counterproductive to not only, you know, my weight, but my appearance, everything that it was that I was going through at that time physically, man. Another thing that I would do in order just to smoke weed, man, is I would kind of cut off some of my relationships with people who did not smoke weed. So if you didn't smoke weed, it was kind of like no benefit of being around you because I can't smoke with you. And then on top of that, I feel like you might judge me for smoking. So I'm cutting off my relationships with people who I didn't need to cut off relationships with. You know, if you're in a relationship with someone, in a romantic relationship, and they don't smoke, you know, they don't like you smoking necessarily, you know, they see the damage that you're doing to yourself, you're going to try not to do it around them. And being that you still have that addiction, you're going to just, instead of, you know, cutting off that bad habit, you're going to limit your interaction with this person. So it messes up your relationships, man. And I've been guilty of doing that before. Or even just being around certain family members that you know that don't smoke weed. You limit those relationships. And by far, even though like I said, all this stuff is embarrassing, but that one is the one that really, really, you know, is the most embarrassing to me, is that you would limit a relationship with someone who loves you or that you love them, vice versa, that, you know, just so you can smoke weed, just so you can get high, man. So I just want to put that out there because a lot of people don't think about these kind of things, man. They don't think about it. One last thing I want to add on this before I close out this video, man. One thing that I played with a lot, I gambled with a lot, man, was my freedom. Because I'm going in the hood to get my weed most of the time. I'm going to areas where the police is heavy. I'm riding around with the drug. I'm in the car smoking weed. And all it takes is for you to hit them lights one time behind you, man. And at just the wrong moment, and you can find yourself going to jail, man, which happened to me. I found myself in interactions with the police a few times in my life, all behind smoking some weed, man. So I'm gambling with my freedom. I'm gambling with my freedom so I can smoke this drug, man. So just some of the things that, you know, some people do that I personally did just to get high, man. I won't put out this video just to, man, let people know it's not worth it. Think about everything I just said. It's not worth it. Even if you're not at the point right now, because I didn't start off that way. But once you're a decade into it and your smoking habit just keeps growing and growing, your smoking habit growing faster than your income, you'll find yourself doing a lot of different things in life that you would never do. That you'll never do. We all think it's crazy when we hear these stories about what crackheads to do for crack, or what we hear about what, you know, pill heads to do for pills. But you know, nobody really thinks about what pieheads sometimes would do to smoke some weed, man. So, you know, I just want to put this video out. Hopefully it's motivational, inspirational, man. Stay on a sober path. Keep your mind clear. It's so worth it, man. So worth it. I am in this thing knee deep now. I do not plan on going back. And I hope that I inspire you to put it down, man. At least cut back on it. If you don't want to stop, just slow down, man, because more people find themselves inside this addiction each and every day, and I want to help out as many people as possible. If it's anything you like about this video, anything at all, take a moment, go down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, man. The subscribers be slowly but steadily just climbing up, but I want to get this tribe bigger. I want to get more people involved. I want to start talking to y'all more, man. I'm working all the time. I'm working all the time. I'm working. I got a couple kids, man. I'm constantly shaking and moving and grooving and just doing all this stuff. But I always try, you know, to get these videos out to y'all at least once a week. At least once a week. I want to get more consistent, but at least once a week, I want to put this out, man. And I try to reach out to y'all, man, and let y'all know I'm reading y'all comments. I love when people reach out to me personally, hit me up, man, DM me, talk to me. I'm going to talk back to you, man. That's just how I go. 502 King Paul. I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed till next time. I'm out.